Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. Today we're doing a started video. The reason why is because I have so much information to share with you guys. I've got a stock that I've sold and I want to tell you guys about it, and the stock that I've bought as well and I've not talked about on the YouTube channel. So I'm doing a little bit of a catch up, and that's why we've got the weekend videos here today, and a whiteboard video as well. Feels like it's been a few days since I've done a whiteboard video, but we'll get started. So today I'm going to share with you guys a stock that I sold. I wasn't actually going to do a video on this because I thought it would be a video that I can sum up in 4 or 5 minutes, and I thought I'll just bolt it onto another video. But then I thought, you know what, it's best to do a dedicated video so it's very clear that I sold this position. As most of you guys know, I try to build this channel on transparency, so you guys know that when I buy a stock, it's here, it's on the record, and if I sell a stock, it's here, it's on the record. And I think that's really important, that you guys can then, you see what moves I'm making, and you can judge my moves and judge me as an investor, and decide if you like the move overall. And obviously in this bear market that we've had, where you've seen so many YouTubers that have disappeared, they've not made any videos anymore in this bear market. There's YouTubers that don't show the portfolio, don't say what stocks they're buying, and then they go, oh, I'm the greatest investor of all time. At least here you can see what moves I'm making. And also, I'm not talking about a stock, I'm not buying this stock and then after the stock goes up or down, I'm never talking about again, or a stock that doesn't work out, I'm quietly selling out in the background and you never see it mentioned on the channel again. You'll always hear me mention about the stocks that I'm buying and selling all the time, and when they actually are being sold out of the portfolio, if I continue to buy them anyway. So we'll go through why I sold this stock today, and let's get started. So as always, if you want to know what I'm buying and selling in real time, the place to be is on Patreon. You guys on the Patreon know I made this move yesterday. That's why the Patreon's really good, because you get to see up to date in real time the moves that I'm making, as well as 2 exclusive videos a week, and it's only £5 a month, which I think is pretty good. But the stock that I made the move on yesterday was Alpha Wave. So you can see here the stock actually had a drop. Well, it dropped more and more as the day went on. Fortunately for me, as you guys know in the Patreon, I sold Alpha Wave quite early on the morning on Friday. So initially when the stock had its first little bit of a drop here is actually when I sold out the position. I sold out the position for around about just higher than 15% gain, and it was a stock that I was actually up over 20% on. You guys know that I made a video talking that I was potentially going to buy Alpha Wave, and I did buy Alpha Wave. And it was a stock that I was up over 20% on, but with a little bit of a drop here, it did pull the gains down towards 15%, which is still okay that we've made money on the stock. And like I always say, what are we all here to do at the end of the day? We're all here to make money. But I'm going to talk about what rapidly changed, because this position was only in my portfolio for a short amount of time. What happened for me to sell out this stock so early compared to what I would have normally held this stock for, which would be a longer term hold? Well, clearly, as you probably could tell, there was some fundamental change about the company, and this is why the stock actually did sell off during the day. And because of that fundamental change is why I decided to take my profit. Now, a lot of that went to do with the trading update. They did bring out a trading update, which I thought was actually okay, but it was this that was the issue. It was an update on the audit process. So you can see here that the company's external auditor has requested more time to complete its internal oversight and basically have a look at the numbers for a little bit longer, which could be absolutely nothing, but sometimes that can not be a good sign. They said that the group, following the group's transformational acquisitions over the past year, the 3 transactions that they made, and also the whole business as a whole with a 366% headcount increase, is the suggestion that there's a lot of information for them to go through. Now, I took this both ways. I thought, yeah, potentially that could be the case, and we have seen a few companies actually mention the delay in audit at the moment, but also that there is the potential that this could actually take a really long time to go through. And when there's that many acquisitions and a lot of hiring, when it's a fine line comb of a audit, sometimes numbers can accidentally get wrong in this time frame. And I've seen, especially on the UK market, even if there's nothing that materially massively changes in the audit, just that this process can go very wrong and hurt companies, and that made me a little bit nervous, especially with it being a small market cap like Alpha Wave Semi. They also said that they are going to publish the audited results before the 12th of May, which falls outside the deadline required, and because of that, it meant that the shares had to be suspended because of that. Now, obviously, this would have been something that would have been great for them to avoid, but also the thing is that the company is suggesting that they are obviously going to have it done by the 12th. Now, I don't know exactly if that's going to be the 12th. I don't know if that was management team trying to protect the share price a little bit and giving a date, but I've seen this before where these sort of audits go way past what would be actually a very quick delay on the audited shares, and I was like, are management telling us the truth here and trying to make us not panic, or is actually a little bit more going on here than what we would want to be going on? Obviously something not great behind the company's scene. So with the combination of that news coming out, first of all, I had a good profit on this company, which I wanted to probably take off the table. Why sell though? Why sell this? Well, the big risk from when I bought, if you actually look back to the When semi video that I did, there was two big risks that I said. The first one was the circle of competence. For me, I was always pushing out of my circle of competence, buying Wave. I always said, like, this is very risky for me. There's a lot of things here that potentially could happen that could make me quite nervous, and I have to see the company execute to perfection financially as well to see me still hold these shares, because I don't have great knowledge in this area, and I'm a big believer of that you should invest in onto areas that you know. If as a retail investor, if you want to beat the market, you want to be buying into sectors that you know or things that you use, and that should give you a little bit more of an advantage against the market to help you as a retail investor. For me, I kind of broke this rule because I was looking at the financials going, okay, I'm basing this a little bit on the financials here because the information that I have doesn't really, or the knowledge that I have doesn't really suit me in this semiconductor space that I'm moving into. So I need to see execution to perfection for me to justify holding this. And obviously a knockback with a suspension in listing obviously wasn't that. And the next thing was management. I said the big risk that I see with this company is management. Obviously the reason why this had come such an opportunity valuation wise is because management had a checkered past. It was up for debate whether or not they were things that have been done on purpose or if they haven't been done on purpose. But if you go back and watch the Wave semi video, you'd see there was things going inside the company with like suspicious links between companies, etc. And also one thing that I didn't like when I bought the stock is that if you look at Wave, they actually downgraded their guidance a little bit and they didn't make it clear to shareholders, which isn't honest. I said that if there's ever one little red flag that management give me here because of the checker pass, I'm out of here. And the thing is when this audit issue came out, I was like, that's not great. Now, I don't know if they're telling the truth around that it's going to be okay and the shares will be back on by the 12th of May, or if they're just saying that to protect the share price. We'll have a better idea in 2 weeks. Now, in 2 weeks' time, if it comes out that there's something more major coming on here, I don't want to go, well, I told myself that if there was any sort of issue, I'll be out of here, and that's why I wanted to be out, just in case that is the issue. If it does turn out management were actually telling the truth around this whole problem and that actually the audit process will actually be okay by the 12th and the shares come back online by the 12th, that'll actually give me a bit more trust of like, oh, management actually did tell us the truth. They said shares would be back on by the 12th, and there we go, the shares are back active now. And that would actually build my confidence up a little bit more, where I'd be like, okay, the numbers that came out were actually okay, and they actually told the honest truth through this audit issue here. That gives me more confidence. But because I don't really know, I'm not in, only people that are inside that boardroom actually know what's going on inside the company here. I thought it's better for me to take the cash off the table. So that was the major factor that kind of played in with that whole audit issue. And there was a bit of a third thing that was going on here. This wasn't a major one, but I did, in terms of something that I wanted to do, it did kind of make sense. And it was to reduce position sizes. So for me, some of you guys may have noticed that in this last couple of weeks, I've been buying a lot of UK stocks. I've seen a lot of UK stocks at value. And what I've been doing is I've been nibbling at 4 or 5 new UK companies. Now the problem is that because I've been nibbling at a few UK companies, and it's kind of balanced out with the likes of Celsius and obviously the other likes of Lovesac and Tesla exiting my portfolio for good amounts of profit, it has left the hole for new stocks to come in. But there's probably been a couple too many new stocks. There's been too many little mini positions in my portfolio where it's a bit like I'm a little bit overexposed. I don't need this many positions. I don't need the work on this many positions to keep up with them. And ultimately, one of the big things that I said was my target by the end of 2023 was to reduce my positions that I hold by a couple, just because I think I've got a little bit too many. So that was also something that I want to do ideally. So this could work out because, like I said, I might potentially buy back in depending on how this order issue does go. But for now, one of my longer term plans was to reduce my positions, which is kind of working out here. But this wasn't a make or break, but it does support my long term goal, which was to just reduce the amount of positions I do hold by a couple. So that did fit quite well. So yeah, a combination of all these things of it was good profit. One of my biggest things was the management team, and right now I don't know if the management team is telling me the truth or not, and I don't want to be holding the stock that is suspended. And with a management team that don't have the greatest history, I don't know if I can trust them through this situation. And also the combination of this stock has always been a bit out of my circle of competence. And with me wanting to reduce the amount of position sizes, it kind of worked out, and it was the right thing to do, I think, at the moment. So that was a bit of a change in the fundamentals that I weren't happy with, and I thought, okay, I think it's best to be on the side for now and take the profit here, and we'll see where we're at in 2 weeks' time and see where we go from there. So I hope you enjoyed the video anyway, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the transparency with me sharing this with you guys as always. And if you could, hit the like button, and I'll catch you all in a bit.